professional etiquette consulting, and as Carol said, from the Toledo area. And I thought Carol's idea of taking the training from Jen's blogs was an awesome idea. And there's so much material there. So we're going to try and just take a nugget of something that she's done in the past, and I'll expand on that. But then it's something that you can go back to. Her blogs are still published on our website, and so you can go back to and read her entire blog with regard to the subject. So this month, Carol chose the 3 M's of May, and that was the title of Jen's blog. And the 3 M's were magnificent. So, magnificent.
Could I ask you, would you be offended if I stood in the middle?
No, that's fine. I'm sorry.
Great.
I just did it sideways. I want to put my back to you in the house.
Sure. So the 3 M's of May. Magnificent was the first M, and that was Jen's way of wanting us to all realize how magnificent we truly are and recognize ourselves for that and be proud of ourselves for that. The second M was mirroring, and she wants us to reflect in a mirror, physically, really do it, and look in the mirror and tell yourself how magnificent you are, and practice your communications, because we all get better when we actually see ourselves. And the third one was map out your day, and that's what we're going to focus on tonight just for a few minutes, is mapping out your day. Now, is anyone here challenged with organizing their day or their calendar? We've all been there, right? Absolutely. So Jen, I'm sure you've heard of block scheduling before. Well, Jen set up her own program, and she called it chunk scheduling. I love it. Jen, just fun. So she calls it chunk scheduling. And what she does is she takes a period of time each day between 30 minutes and an hour and a half, and all of the tasks that need to be completed in the day, she plugs in those time periods. So, making and returning phone calls might be a 30-minute section. Maybe research for a new seminar might be the 90-minute section. So whatever that is, to map out in 30 to 90-minute chunks of your day what you have to do. Jen also loved to talk about how you need to schedule in your flex time, and I love this idea. She wants us to take 2 or 3 days a week, put an extra hour in your calendar, and just call it flex time. Nothing else goes in there. So you know how you're going through the week and you didn't get that phone call or that email return, something popped up and now it's on your to-do list that you weren't planning? That's what that flex block is for, that flex chunk. That's when you catch up on the things that you haven't had an opportunity to do during the week or that popped up. Jen also taught in the blog how she likes to plan an hour at the beginning of the week to set up her entire week, and then an hour and a half at the very end of the week to go back and reflect on, what worked, what didn't work, does she need more time in a certain area, less time in another area, and being sure that it's balanced so that you have your professional and career obligations in there, as well as family, friends, and those things. So you're really making sure you're checking in with yourself at the end of the week. Did you really balance your life as best you can? So I have to tell you, I am the queen of organizational systems. I bought every program, binder, notebook out there. I've tried them all. And 99% of them are in my closet in my office because I try it for a week or two, and it doesn't work, or I don't like it. Or I see the new shiny new thing, that just came out, and I want to try that one now. But I have to share with you, I have discovered one that I really, really love. I've been doing it for several months faithfully, and it's working the best that any system has ever worked for me. I get up an hour earlier in the morning, I set my alarm, my phone is out of reach, so I'm a snooze, person. I always want to hit that snooze, sometimes for an hour and a half. So I wanted to break that habit, right? So the phone's out of reach. When the alarm goes off, I get up, I'm up that extra hour early, and I plan out my day. So even though I keep an electronic calendar, I will physically write out, have a paper calendar that I rewrite out for that day, along with my task list. I write 3 things that I'm grateful for. I write what I want to focus on, my big projects, things that I'm thankful for, people that I want to reach out to or connect with in some way, and then I just have a little section for notes or thoughts or things like that. It's working really well for me. The day I just leave it on my desk, and starting it first thing in the morning like that really puts me in the frame of mind. I don't look at my email, I don't get on any kind of technology for that first hour I'm up. I get my coffee and I sit down and plan the day. It has made all the difference in the world. I'm getting far more done now. And did you have something to share?
I was going to say, I call it centering.
Yes.
Because if you can center yourself and take a few minutes to get yourself centered, then all of these distractions won't fragment you.
Exactly. Is anyone familiar with Mel Robbins? She's kind of a motivational speaker. She has a new book that was just released this month, and it's called the 5-Second Rule. And at first I thought, okay, this is pretty silly. And the premise of the book is to count backwards from 5 when you need to change behavior. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, change. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, that's actually how I started this whole thing. With getting up to the alarm clock, it's out of reach, and I get up, I make my bed right away, and I've already set myself up. Like you're saying, I've centered myself, and I've already been successful, and I haven't even made it to the coffee pot yet. And it honestly has made the biggest difference in my productivity for the day. And then also, I'm sorry, I keep hitting your deck on your chair.
Oh, you're fine.
So besides getting things done and being so much more productive, my outlook on life has really changed, and I'm just more positive and focused on the positive because that's how I'm starting every single day. So I want to ask you, what tips or tricks do you have, or what things have you found that work well for you in organizing your day or your calendar? Anybody have a great tip they want to share, or a system that they use, or maybe you have a question?
I just let Outlook nag me.
Who nag you?
Outlook.
Oh.
That's what our company has for the email system. And so you can put reminders. I even had it because I wanted to drink more water. So I had it pop up every 2 hours and say, drink water. So until you tell it to go away, it'll just keep nagging you until you've gotten done what you need to do.
And does it work for you? Do you do
Yes,
it?
yes.
Oh, that's good
And
then.
all the SoNows, I know they meet on the first this or the third this, but those are already all scheduled because you can set recurring.
Right?
So they're recurring. I don't have to put them in my calendar, so those block times are already blocked out. All my different meetings that occur regularly, and then I can fill in among the rest of it. I don't have to try and remember when an event is because it's already blocked out right now.
Good, thank you.
I use the electronic also, so in the morning I don't jump out of bed like you do, which it sounds awesome. But I do look at that, and then I have like a little, my list of things besides the appointments that I might have, the things that I do need to do, certain tasks for the day, any certain errands I need to run, so that I will write those down as well, so that I'm visually seeing it.
Yeah, make your tasks appointments. I already put that in for when I come back from vacation. The first 2 things I got to do is call this person for a one-to-one, and then send this quote to somebody. So I just schedule them like they were an appointment. So it'll remind me as soon as I get back, it'll pop up on my computer.
Great, yes.
I love the daily planner, and because I used to have multiple, like a calendar and a few of them, and now it's all in one spot, so I think that helps. I always plan a month in advance, and then I do like week, plan my week.
Okay.
But I like your idea for the day because I do mess that up. Daily, you know what I mean? The whole daily thing. I get the general stuff, but I think I need to be more specific. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Tackle more.
Well, on my electronic calendar, I'll look the day, and then I'll still forget something. So just that practice, writing it down again, really helps with the memory and reminding yourself, hey, I really need to take care of this today, or have this appointment today. Yeah.
I have a question just of the group. In my business, I rely on cold calls and appointments and things. And I have a sort of anal retentive personality that I want to be able to control everything. But does anybody use any sort of a management system for keeping track of contacts and conversations and that sort of thing. I've got an Excel spreadsheet that's just not out of hand.
Anybody here have a system that they're using?
We have a client retention, it's called CRM, Client Retention Management. Profit happens to be the one we have. And there you plug in your contacts, your, I can't think of the word, opportunities. And then also anytime you contact them, it logs it in there, and there's all sorts of variable fields where you can plug in what industry they're in or reminders. So there's actually canned software that's supposed to help you with that kind of thing.
Fair amount of them out there that real estate agents use, and that's really how the top real estate agents get their business is using the special names that a lot of people really want to tell you what it's called.
Ellen, do you use any type of, you've got lots of appointments and things.
Yeah, there's, it's whatever works for whomever, I have a couple of programs, there's Top Producer, there's a lot of different programs. But I think you have to consciously input and make sure you're updating it, because it can
It's only
remind
as good as what you put in it.
Yeah, and I am like the queen of multitask, and so what I have to do is not allow myself to get off task. Today I had so many, and I could do this or do that and do that, and I have to say, no, you're working on this, no, you're working on that. And I have to do that, because if I don't, the urgent will take care of it. A lot of times for us, I've got people asking to see something like right now, blah, 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 that kind of thing. And a lot of that stuff can take care of itself. Anyway, for me, it's keeping focus is what I have to do. Because I could be my real estate partner and my husband, I think one's my office husband, and they're like, oh, she's doing it again. But I will tell you that taking a few minutes, a half an hour in the morning, not necessarily to organize my stuff, but to organize my mind and to do a little bit of meditation and my devotions. If I do that, my whole day runs like, I can cope, I can deal with everything that flies past me, and if I don't, then I become very fragmented.
So we unfortunately we weren't really able to help you out. No one's currently using a system other than Outlook. So that was something, if anyone hears of someone using a system like that or an app, maybe that's something that we could post on the SoNow Facebook page, and that would benefit all of us. If someone picks up a good lead on something like that.
I don't use a specific app, but I do color code and color coordinate. Being that this is a women's group, that might be something helpful, because I use, for example, one color for appointments, a different color for personal appointments. So I'm just thinking, us busy women, moms with kids, you got one color for the kids stuff, one color for the business stuff, another color for your personal, another color for events. And so my calendar is like a rainbow of colors on what's going on, and green being appointments is the one I prefer to see more than
Great, thank you. Anybody else? Yes.
over those things that you
Yes. I write out my gratitude statements and what I'm thankful for, and there is a little bit of a difference with that. Gratitude statements, what I do is I look at everything that's happening in my life, good and bad. And knowing that even something that might not be a good thing for me right now, or a real challenge that I'm having, I make myself see what is the silver lining of that challenge that I'm having. And I'm grateful for that experience, even if it's a little painful now, because it's leading me somewhere else. So that's how I focus my gratitude statements. And then my thankful statements are more of, I'm thankful that my son came home and visited me today. Things like that. So that's the difference there. I also write out what I'm focused on, my major projects that I want to work on for the day, my tasks, things I need to get done. And then I rewrite everything in my calendar. I write it down so it's physically written down. I think I got everything right. And if I could just share real quickly, you were talking about focusing and going back to the book I mentioned before, the 5-second rule. That 5.321. It is the 5-second rule by Mel Robbins. And she, to stop yourself when you get distracted, that's what how she uses that concept. So when you catch yourself, then it's okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's when you make the switch. And it sounds funny, I know it, and at first I thought, okay, this is really goofy, but I've been doing it, and it really works. There's something about that countdown that allows you to switch something in your brain and refocus your attention. And that's how I did the whole alarm clock, getting up an hour early, the alarm is off, I don't have a choice. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I got to turn that on. So that might be a good tool to try when you find yourself being pulled in different directions and you're not focusing on the task at hand. So, I like that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Patty.
Thank you.